Still not first in the standings, but it looks from all intents and purposes that they're just going to be going back to battling for that top spot once again in the LEC. What are we making of this G2 team? And also, let's have a conversation about how we feel that this G2 team in this iteration, with the role swap going back the way it is, how would they compete internationally? How do we feel their chances would be at say, a Worlds? Tyler, why don't we start with you on this one?
I mean, G2 is who we thought they were. Like last week, it was like a 1-2 start of the split, and I think everyone on cast was like, yeah, they're still going to win them. They're still going to be in the finals. They're still more likely than not to win the LEC. And it's happened again, where another week, some actual practice under their belt after not getting much practice during the offseason, and they look like the LEC champions that we know and love. I think Cap's back in his natural role is a big boon for the team. He is an excellent mid. You know, he still has his craps days, but I think we will see a lot more claps more than craps this split. And even so, when he has those games where he's off, you have players like Jankos, Wonder, and Perkz to kind of lift him up, which is what you want in a championship team. But I think the greatest strength of this lineup, and it has been, is Perkz. I mean, Perkz, there's nothing against Caps. Caps was not a bad AD carry. He was still a top 5 AD carry, but I don't think anyone would say he was one of the best. Perkz at his best, when he's in a comfortable position as an AD carry, is one of the deadliest players in the entire league. The Chinese fans called him Poozy. That was his nickname. That is his nickname. They call him Poozy because he's so good, not only in lane, but outside of lane as well. He's a dominant force. Just looking at this past weekend, he was dominating in lane. His CDS differential at 10 minutes is 13 plus. That's incredible. He is a monster in lane, and him being there instead of Caps just gives this team another facet, another weapon that they didn't have beforehand. So what can they do? We kind of saw what they did. They won MSI and they made it to the finals of the World Championships versus an FPX team that they couldn't get over the hump. I think this G2 team can certainly win Worlds, and as they keep growing and going and going, I hope we can see them mature more into a team that I want to see Perkz kind of evolve as an AD carry. I think he's a very good AD carry right now. He's a world-class AD carry, but we saw his limitations last year at Worlds. If he can fix on those limitations and open his pool up more and feel more comfortable in more champions, this team has no limit. This team can definitely just run through World Championships if they can get that one thing fixed.
Anything to add?
They're very good.
Nothing for me.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't worried at all about G2 because of all of the extenuating circumstances. Like, I think we saw again, like you could say that Schalke is an easier opponent, but then they beat Rogue, right? Who were looking like
really good.
They were undefeated before this. So I mean, I agree with Perkz. I like Caps being back in the mid lane. I thought his TF was great. I love the fact that TF is back in the meta because you can see how different mid laners approach using that champion, and he offers a lot in terms of side lane pressure and how you can set up skirmishes. So it was really nice to see Caps on that as well. I mean, I don't think any of us were super concerned about G2 in terms of the fact that they're still the best team in Europe.
What about Fnatic then? They go 0-2 this weekend. Chat saying they didn't look so good.
Oh, Fnatic! They tilt me so much. Oh god.
Why?
I feel like every time I start believing in Fnatic, they let me down. No, I think the main issues I see with Fnatic this past week is that they really tunneled on the Soraka bot lane pick, and if you're going to do that, I feel like not only do you need a strong carry jungle pick, which they did have, and I thought Selfmade played well in both of their games. Actually, I love Selfmade. I think he is really good. I think that the other issue is that you kind of need another carry in mid lane, and despite the fact that Twisted Fate has typically been like a nemesis pick, right? Something he's been known for historically. They've tunneled on that last week and this week, and he hasn't looked as dominant on that pick as he has previously. And then the Echo was not great either against Origin. So I think they need to figure out if they are going to be tunneling on that Soraka pick, which I would rather them not do at all. But if they're going to stick with it, then they need to figure out what they want to do in the mid lane to supplement the carry damage that they're expecting from Selfmade.